Happy Tuesday. So today is actually a very special day. It is my good friend Jalitza Delgado's birthday. And for those of you who don't know, I have a young adult series. It's called Boy Band, and Jalitza is actually in the process of helping me turn it into an independent film. Now, we are still in the very, very early stages of production, such as fundraising, but we do have our cast. Our boys are just the cutest things you'll ever see. I love them all so much. Jalitza is wonderful. She's not only directing the film, but she is also starring as Mel Parker, who is my protagonist and my narrator. I actually have a copy of the book that has her and Pierce, who plays Sam, her love interest, on the cover. However, I sold out of those at all of my events, and I haven't been able to get any more back in. So that's a good problem to have. However, I can't show it to you right now. But if you go to my Amazon page or to my website, you can find it, and I'll post links down at the bottom. Anyway, I will be focusing more on Boy Band in the coming week. It's 5-year anniversary. I think it's 5 years actually. I may be wrong. Let me look. I actually don't know when my own book was published. That's kind of funny. Yes, 5-year anniversary is coming up on April 21st. So I'll be doing something special for sure, reading a couple chapters. I would love to get Jalitza or even some of the guys in on a Zoom chat to maybe feature them here on the YouTube channel, but I don't know what their schedules are, so we'll see if that actually happens. But in the meantime, if you would like to wish Jalitza a happy birthday, you can go find her on all the social medias, and again, I will post all the links on this video. And if you'd like to check out Boy Band, it is available on Kindle Unlimited. So today, I thought I would read a couple more chapters from Once Upon a Midnight Clear. Jalitza really, really loves this book too. She actually did a photo shoot back in December where she cosplayed as Princess Rosalind, and it just came out absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the next couple chapters. Happy birthday, Jalitza! I love you! Oh, and just a refresher, what's happened in Once Upon a Midnight Clear so far, Princess Rosalind is visiting her former betrothed, Prince Nicholas, and his new fiancée, Brittany Walker, in Prince Nicholas's home principality of San Cecilio, and she's just found out that they brought along a Viscount named Weston Bentley to court her, and she's not thrilled. Chapter 3. Did you know? I demand, pacing back and forth across my bedroom while I interrogate my brother over the phone. How would I have known? Robert asks. Because Mother and Father discuss everything with you. They discuss matters of state with me, not your personal affairs, he corrects me. And I don't know why you're getting so worked up. You were fully prepared and willing to marry the first man that Mom and Dad picked out for you. It's not the same. How? Because I feel like they brought Lord Weston here as some sort of bizarre consolation prize. Oh, sorry you're not going to marry the future sovereign, but here, have a Viscount. Now you're just being snobbish. I'm not trying to belittle him. I'm trying to say it's unfair to him. He shouldn't allow himself to be subjected to such insult. Don't you think he would have refused to come had he really felt that way? At the invitation of the royal family of San Cecilio, how could anyone refuse, regardless of the circumstances? I don't know why you're resisting, but you are. If you were to calm down, take a deep breath, and think about it, you might come to realize that Lord Weston could be a very good match for you. He's noble, respected, wealthy, everything you could ask for in a husband. It just feels so forced. And your betrothal to Nicholas didn't? I don't have an answer for him. He takes my silence as permission to carry on. You know, Rose, maybe this isn't about Lord Weston. Maybe you're the one feeling second rate. What's that supposed to mean? Well, think about it. You were supposed to marry Nicholas, but he wanted someone else. You were supposed to become consort to the future monarch, and now that job is going to someone far less qualified. This young woman, nice as she may be, essentially waltzed right into what was supposed to be your life and replaced you. I hadn't considered that. To tell you the truth, I'm not altogether familiar with feelings of inadequacy. I've always lived up to everyone's expectations, including my own. I obeyed every rule, completed every task, and have always taken great pride in my accomplishments and achievements. Perhaps Robert is right. Perhaps Lord Weston isn't the one I pity. Maybe, just maybe, it's me. Dinner that night is a simple affair with Princess Isabel and Nicholas's father, Prince Vincent. We gather in the great hall in our semi-formal attire and sit down to a modest meal of grilled vegetables, pasta, and fish with raisins and pine nuts, followed by chocolate pastries for dinner and a sweet muscatel to wash it all down. All the while, I'm trying to keep my mind open to new possibilities and to cast aside every newfound doubt and insecurity that Robert so astutely identified earlier. You know, I've always wanted the opportunity to speak with you, to get to know you better, Lord Weston says to me over pastries and wine. You just seem to be such a fascinating person. Why, thank you. What a lovely compliment. Although I'm not certain that it is altogether genuine. I'm afraid I lead a rather unremarkable existence. Since the very beginning, I've had my whole life planned out for me. That all seemed well and good until destiny saw fit to derail those plans. So, tell me about yourself, Weston presses. Well, I enjoy music. Really? What sort? All sorts. Classical, contemporary, popular, but I'm particularly keen on selections from Broadway. In that case, you must come visit me in London sometime. We can go to the West End. I'll take you to any show you'd like. Phantom, The Lion King, Wicked. That sounds lovely, and a little extravagant. Well then, it's a date, he smiles. Oh my, is that what I've just agreed to? I suppose I should have figured it out sooner, but as it is, I've never been on a date. Not in the proper sense, anyway. Of course, Nicholas and I would attend the occasional ball or charity event together back when we were still betrothed, but it never felt the way it always seemed to in books or in movies. After dinner, Prince Vincent and Princess Isabel bid all of us good night and adjourned to their bedchamber, leaving Nicholas, Weston, and me at the mercy of Brittany and her plans for what she promises to be a festive and fun-filled evening. Okay, so I'm going to go change into my PJs and make the popcorn. Nick, you grab the blankets. Rosalind and Wes, why don't you pick out a Christmas movie? I've left a stack of my favorites in the green drawing room, Brittany instructs us. Oh, and before I forget, does anyone want cocoa? I do, Nicholas grins. No thank you, I reply. I think I'll pass too, Weston says. Well, I'll make some extra, just in case, Brittany assures us before bounding out of the room. She's wonderful, isn't she? Nicholas sighs. It is impossible not to love her. She is very sweet, I agree. So you really do like her? Nicholas asked, turning to face me. Oh, well, I've only just met her. I still don't know her very well. But you think she's sweet? I do, I reply honestly. I'm so glad, Nicholas beams. It's important to me that you like her, and it's important to her, too. She has so much respect for you. She really, really wants to be your friend. Although I don't foresee the two of us becoming the kind of friends who call each other up at 2 a.m, or who share secrets over cookie dough and rosé wine, I do acknowledge and accept that she is about to become a part of my life. Taking that into consideration, I would rather us be on good terms than not. Instead of conveying all this to Nicholas, however, I simply say, I would like that too. So you'll stay tonight, for her movie night? After a long day of travel and excessive socializing, all I really want to do is go to bed and sleep for 14 hours. But Nicholas and Brittany have put forth so much effort into making their guests feel at home here in the castle. I would hate to come across as ill-mannered or ungrateful. Of course I will. Again, Nicholas smiles and pulls me into a warm embrace. Thank you, Rosalind. Thank you. Since neither Weston nor I is familiar with any of the Christmas movies that Brittany has set out for us, she selects a romantic holiday comedy. Although I have my doubts concerning the quality of this particular movie, I am willing to give it a chance for Nicholas's sake. I've just taken my seat on the sofa when Brittany turns to me and asks, Rosalind, what are you doing? I'm sitting down to watch the movie. I think that's the right answer. Not up there, you're not. Come on, we're camping out on the floor, Brittany exclaims, dropping down onto a pile of blankets next to the fireplace. Wait, really? Yes, come join us. It's fun, Nicholas insists, taking Brittany into his arms. All the while, Weston watches me with a keen smile and eager eyes. I don't know. I think I'd be more comfortable here on the sofa. I'm already wearing my dressing gown in front of 2 very recent acquaintances. I can only imagine how vulnerable I would feel sitting with them on the floor. Then I'll come sit on the sofa next to you, Weston announces, rising up from his makeshift throne of pillows. Oh, that's really not necessary, I tell him. Nonsense, I insist. I hate to see a princess lonely. Oh dear God. As if that doesn't make me feel uneasy enough, Brittany turns around to watch as he joins me on the sofa. Then she catches my eye and winks. It's going to be a very long night, isn't it? Chapter 4. Her royal heartbreak. Princess Rosalind is in San Cecilio. Can Rosalind win Nicholas back? 10 reasons why we think she can. Rosalind's revenge. Brittany's bitter rival hopes to stop the royal wedding. It's a long way from once upon a time to happily ever after, especially when the princess who was supposed to marry your prince comes knocking on your castle door. Her Royal Highness, Rosalind of Mondovia, arrived in Valonia, the capital city of San Cecilio, 2 days ago, and has been staying at the castle with Prince Nicholas and his bride-to-be, Miss Brittany Walker. While a spokesperson for the royal family insists that the princess is there at Nicholas and Brittany's invitation, insider sources claim that she is, in fact, on a personal mission to take back what she believes is her rightful place by the prince's side. She's definitely hoping to win him back, says an unnamed source. She's a beautiful and strong-minded person who is used to getting her way, and she's not going to let Nicholas, or the crown, go without a fight. Sounds like this princess means business. But what do we really know about her? Born Rosalind Elisabetta Marie Clermont, she is the second child and only daughter of their Majesties, King David and Queen Mathilde of Mondovia. Her brother, Robert Arthur Gabriel Clermont, is next in line to inherit the throne. Rosalind grew up a smart and successful child, very focused on her studies and extracurricular activities, such as equestrianism and music lessons. It is said that the princess is a fine singer and a skilled pianist. Unfortunately for the young royal, no amount of talent or intelligence will earn her a kingdom to call her own. Is it really any wonder she finds herself vying for Nicholas's hand, if not his heart? It's my 3rd morning in San Cecilio, and I am rapidly approaching my wit's end. First, Princess Isabel, who has been overseeing Brittany's princess lessons, yes, there are such things, asked if I might like to sit in to offer encouragement and additional guidance. I agreed, thinking it would be a simple, perhaps even enjoyable undertaking. What I didn't anticipate, however, was how resistant Brittany is to traditional etiquette. She questions the merit of nearly every rule, every regulation, every piece of practical protocol, not because she intends to be rude, but because it is also very foreign and nonsensical to her. Then there's Lord Weston. While I appreciate his interest and am flattered by his persistence, having him constantly hovering is, in a word, overwhelming. It is as though he has already decided that we're going to be together, inviting me to London, making plans for the new year. It's even gone so far as to refer to me as his princess. It was only then that I was finally forced to say something. Forgive me, Lord Weston, but I am not your princess. He began backpedaling immediately. Oh, no, of course not. You belong to no one, Your Highness. I merely intended it as a phrase of endearment. You know, my darling, my dear, my princess. Well, be that as it may, it's not a phrase that I fancy. Yes, of course, I understand, and I do apologize. I hope you know I meant no disrespect. I do, thank you. If that's not enough, Brittany's parents are scheduled to land in San Cecilio this afternoon, so the entire staff is hustling and bustling about the castle, making sure everything is in order, not just for their arrival, but for the banquet that Prince Vincent and Princess Isabel are hosting tonight and to welcome them into the family. Now, on top of all of that, the international press has finally caught wind of my stay here in San Cecilio, and of course they're having a field day at my expense. I can't do this anymore. I need to get out of here. Take a day off. But how? Perhaps I can feign an illness. I'd be confined to my bedroom, but it would at least give me the afternoon all to myself. Or maybe I could climb out of my window and escape into the courtyard. Only then I run the risk of breaking my leg or getting caught by the royal guards, or possibly both. Maybe I should just ask Sophie if any of the staff members here know of any secret passageways out of the castle. Granted, that may be a bit of a stretch, but I'm feeling rather desperate. If only escaping from a royal residence were as simple as walking out the front door. Good morning, Your Highness, Sophie greets me, gliding into the room. Sophie, if you were going to sneak out of a castle, how would you do it? Is this going to be one of those conversations that I'm supposed to pretend didn't happen? If you don't mind. All right, well, if I needed to get away, I suppose I'd make up some sort of plausible excuse. You know, like I need to run to the shops. Then again, it's a bit easier for someone like me to leave without causing too much of a stir. She's right, of course. For the most part, members of the staff are able to come and go as they please. It's the royal visitors they like to keep under lock and key. Heaving a defeated sigh, I turned to gaze out my window, just in time to see a small bus pulling up to the front gate. It's only then that I remember that the castle is open to guided tours on select days of the week, and it looks like today is one of them. Ugh, more people, I groan. At least you don't have to meet with them. But I'll still know they're here. You know, you'd think that with the wedding preparations and the walkers arriving later on this afternoon, the tours would be canceled, Sophie comments. Exactly, as if the energy here isn't chaotic enough. Wait a minute. Right, now if anyone should ask, I'm not feeling well, but it's nothing a little bed rest won't cure. Are you sure about this? Sophie asks, helping me change into jeans and an oversized winter coat. For the most part. What if you get caught? So I get caught. What are they going to do? Lock me in the stocks? What if you're recognized or kidnapped? Maybe I should go with you. No, I need you here to cover for me, I remind her. I'm not going to go far, just far enough. I'll have my phone with me. I check my reflection in the mirror one last time before heading out. Along with the coat, I've donned a knitted souvenir hat bearing the flag of San Cecilio and a pair of glasses that Sophie sometimes uses for reading. If someone were to look hard enough, they might recognize me, but as long as I keep a low profile, I should be able to hide in plain sight. Now, all that's left is to wait for the opportune moment to sneak into the tour group and waltz out the front door like I'm just another vacationer, here for the sights and the photo ops. The group itself is relatively small, no more than 12 people or so. Still, I think there are enough visitors here to help me blend in. They've just passed through the library when I decide to take my shot. No one is looking. If I can just tag along behind the last two tourists, slip in as though I'd been there all along, I might just be able to pull this off. Thud! In my haste, I fail to watch my step, and my foot accidentally catches a small end table near the door, creating a domino effect that topples 3 books, a small picture frame, and, to my utter horror, an antique candelabra that tumbles over the edge and falls to the ground with a loud clang. What was that? The man leading the tour bellows. He's a man of large stature with a balding head and a mustache. He looks more like a cartoon wrestler than a castle guard and then a castle tour guide. This poor girl tripped over a table, one of the visitors, an older woman informs him. Are you all right, dear? Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Young lady, what were you thinking? The tour guide demands. The tour guide, I don't know why I keep saying guard. The tour guide, I mean, it says guide. It doesn't say guard. It just says, whatever. The tour guide demands. I clear my throat. I wasn't looking, and I'm terribly sorry. Well, don't let it happen again, he scolds me. Yes, sir. He glowers at me for a moment longer before finally he turns around and carries on with the tour. I heave a shuddering sigh of relief. Don't worry, dear, the older woman tells me. The first time I toured a castle, I ended up shattering a crystal goblet they had on display in the kitchen. Really? I ask, feeling a little better about my thoughtless blunder. Oh yes, this sort of thing happens far more often than these stuffy tour guides would ever want you to know, she says, smiling up at me. Then she takes a second glance. Have you been with us this whole time? So much for keeping a low profile. I hope you all enjoyed the next 2 chapters of Once Upon a Midnight Clear. Remember, you can read it also on Kindle Unlimited, and you can find it on Amazon or through my website. Have a good day, y'all!